Listen, everybody wants to be somebody until it's time to become somebody. Everybody wants the crown until they realize what it costs to wear one. You say you got dreams. You say you got a vision, a fire, a destiny that keeps you up at night. But I have to ask you, do you have the discipline to match it? Because dreams are beautiful, but discipline is brutal. Dreams inspire you. Discipline transforms you. Dreams make you believe. Discipline makes you become. See, dreams don't build empires. Discipline does. Dreams don't change lives. Discipline does. Dreams are cheap. Everybody's got one. But the grind, the daily choice to show up when you don't feel like it, that's where greatness begins. You want to know why so many people never touch their potential. It's not because they don't dream big enough. It's because they don't wake up early enough. They don't focus long enough. They don't sacrifice deep enough. You got a plan, but no pain tolerance. You got ambition, but no accountability. You got energy for the start, but no endurance for the middle. And that's why you keep quitting halfway, because the dream felt good, but the discipline didn't. Everybody wants the success story. Nobody wants the struggle chapter. But listen, without the struggle, the story is empty. Without the sacrifice, the success means nothing. You think Edison loved failing 1,000 times. You think Lincoln enjoyed losing elections, being ridiculed, being told he wasn't fit for leadership. You think Oprah smiled through rejection, racism, and public humiliation. No, but they kept showing up every single day because they had something most people don't: discipline that outlasted disappointment. Discipline is the difference between wanting it and working for it, between feeling motivated and becoming unstoppable, between talking about it and turning it into reality. You want the results? Then stop negotiating with your excuses. Stop giving your emotions the steering wheel. Your feelings are liars. They tell you rest when it's time to push, quit when it's time to grow, someday when it's time to act now. You keep saying, I'll start when I'm ready. But listen, the greats never waited to feel ready. They just started moving, and the readiness came through repetition. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. It creates it. And that's the secret nobody tells you. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about alignment. It's about putting your actions where your vision already lies. It's about saying, I refuse to let my potential die in the comfort zone. Every time you hit that snooze button, you make an agreement with mediocrity. Every time you skip the workout, the study session, the practice, you sign a contract with your lesser self. You're feeding the version of you that wants easy and starving the one that was born for excellence. Let me be real with you. Discipline doesn't look sexy. It's not the highlight reel. It's the early morning grind when no one's watching. It's saying no to what everyone else calls fun. It's walking away from the crowd so you can build something they'll one day cheer for. You want success to feel magical, but success is mechanical. It's built on repetition, on rhythm, on small daily choices that stack up over years. The miracle isn't that it happens overnight. The miracle is that it happens at all when you refuse to quit day after day. There's a reason only a few make it, because discipline is not glamorous. It's war, a war against laziness, a war against fear, a war against the part of you that wants to stay the same. Every morning, that version of you wakes up, the weak one, the doubtful one, the lazy one. And if you don't fight it, it wins. Not because it's stronger, but because it's more comfortable, because it whispers in your ear, you've done enough today, when you know deep down you haven't even started. The dream doesn't care about your comfort. Destiny doesn't negotiate with distraction. Purpose doesn't wait for convenience. You either pay the price now, or you pay it later with regret. And regret, that's the most expensive currency on earth. You can't refund time. You can't reorder opportunity. The question is, will you be the person who talks about what could have been, or the one who disciplined themselves into what became? Will you keep chasing dopamine, or will you chase destiny? Because your dream is waiting, but it won't wait forever. It's watching to see if you'll become consistent enough to catch it. And here's the truth: success doesn't belong to the most gifted. It belongs to the most focused, the ones who decided that no matter what happens, the work gets done. The ones who train like it's their last chance every single day. Good. Now listen closely, because this is where most people lose themselves. They get inspired for a moment. They feel that spark, but they never protect it long enough for it to become fire. They think passion will carry them, but passion fades when pain arrives. And that's why you need discipline, because when the feeling fades, discipline keeps you moving. When the motivation dies, discipline keeps you alive. It's the bridge between where you are and who you're supposed to be. You think greatness feels good every day. You think champions wake up smiling at 4 a.m. No, they wake up tired, sore, drained, questioning why they keep doing it. But then they remember the mission. They remember what they said they'd do when they were excited. And they honor that commitment even when the emotion is gone. That's discipline. You can have every tool in the world, the best equipment, the best coach, the best environment. But if you don't have self-command, you'll lose to someone who does. You'll lose to someone who's hungrier. You'll lose to someone who doesn't need a reason to work. They are the reason. That's why discipline is sacred, because it doesn't care about circumstances. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're broke. It doesn't care if you had a bad day. It's the decision to keep moving no matter what the weather looks like outside. When the storm hits, discipline becomes your shelter. When fear whispers, discipline becomes your focus. When doubt screams, discipline becomes your armor. It's the quiet, consistent power that turns ordinary people into living legends. Think about Michael Jordan. He wasn't the most talented when he started, but he was obsessed with improvement. He practiced longer, harder, and smarter than anyone else. When others rested, he refined. When others celebrated, he analyzed. He said, I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. That's not luck. That's discipline through failure. And look at Kobe. While everyone else slept, he was in the gym at 3 a.m., sweat dripping off his face, chasing perfection. He didn't wait for applause. He created it through repetition. That's why he said, rest at the end, not in the middle. He understood that discipline isn't a season, it's a lifestyle. So many of you have potential locked inside you, but you keep giving your greatness an excuse instead of a schedule. You pray for success, but you never prepare for it. You talk about legacy, but you don't live like someone who's building one. You want God to open doors, but you won't even get up and turn the doorknob. You're asking for a harvest, but you won't pick up a shovel. You're blaming the season, but you never planted the seed. Discipline is the seed. And if you don't plant it, you can't complain when the field stays empty. See, discipline isn't just about doing what's hard. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle what's heavy. Everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the burden that comes with it. You say you want success. Can you handle its solitude? You say you want leadership. Can you bear its pressure? You say you want impact. Can you endure its criticism? The truth is, the universe doesn't give you what you ask for. It gives you what you prepare for. It doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to work. And work requires structure. Structure requires order. Order requires discipline. Stop trying to do everything. Start doing what matters. Stop chasing speed. Start mastering consistency. Success doesn't come to those who move the fastest. It comes to those who refuse to stop moving. That's the paradox. It's not about sprinting. It's about showing up. Showing up when nobody's clapping. Showing up when the results are invisible. Showing up when your body aches and your mind doubts you. That's the grind that greatness demands. That's the invisible labor behind every visible victory. And when you start living like that, when your work ethic becomes louder than your words, when your effort becomes more consistent than your excuses, that's when the world starts to take you seriously. Because let me tell you something, discipline earns respect long before success does. You can talk about your goals all day, but when people see your consistency, they start believing in your potential. That's why the discipline don't need validation. Their work speaks for them. Look at history. The great builders, inventors, creators. Edison didn't just dream about light. He spent years in darkness testing thousands of failures until one finally worked. Ford didn't just imagine cars. He worked through bankruptcy, betrayal, and ridicule to produce what others thought was impossible. Carnegie didn't just desire wealth. He devoted decades to understanding systems, steel, and strategy. Disney didn't just draw cartoons. He envisioned an empire when he was broke and laughed at. They all had dreams, but more importantly, they had discipline. And that's why their names are carved into time while others remain buried in excuses. So here's the challenge. Can you discipline yourself enough to become the version of you that your dream requires? Because that's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your dream demands an upgraded version of you. It demands you to evolve, to let go of the old habits, the distractions, the comfort, the doubt. You can't have the dream and keep the same routine. You can't build an empire with a peasant's work ethic. You can't demand excellence while living in average. Discipline is the currency you pay to cross the bridge between someday and today. Good, because this is where everything changes, where discipline stops being something you do and starts becoming something you are. See, true discipline isn't about checking boxes or crossing off to-do lists. It's about identity. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, your habits follow naturally. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And start saying, this is just who I am. That's the shift that separates the dreamers from the doers. Because discipline is not an act. It's an identity. It's not a choice you make once. It's a standard you live by forever. The reason most people fail isn't because they lack potential. It's because they never build a version of themselves capable of carrying their potential. They try to chase success while staying the same person that created their struggle. You can't carry tomorrow's blessings with yesterday's habits. You can't hold the weight of purpose with the hands of procrastination. You want your dream to come true, then build the character that can hold it. Because discipline doesn't just change your schedule, it changes your soul. It sharpens you, it molds you, it burns away the excuses, the laziness, the fear. It turns your chaos into clarity, your weakness into willpower. When you decide that discipline is your identity, everything else aligns. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop needing motivation to move. You stop depending on people to believe in you because you become someone you can believe in. You ever notice how the great ones move different? They don't rush. They don't panic. They don't waste words because they've already done the hard part, mastering themselves. That's what discipline really is. Self-mastery. The power to tell your body, we're doing this, and your body obeys. The power to tell your mind, we're not quitting, and your mind complies. The power to tell your emotions, you don't get to lead today, and they listen. When you reach that level, when you can govern your own mind, you become unstoppable because the world can only break you when you're at war with yourself. But once you make peace with pain, once you accept that growth and discomfort are twins, nothing outside you can touch your fire. Discipline is the quiet force behind resilience. It's what keeps you standing when the storm doesn't end. It's what lets you breathe through the breakdown and build through the burnout. You think strength is about never falling. No, strength is about getting back up so many times that falling no longer scares you. Discipline gives you that power. It gives you the endurance to take another step when your legs are trembling. It gives you the focus to keep digging when all you can see is dirt. Because here's the truth. Success doesn't test your ambition. It tests your endurance. It asks, can you stay consistent when it's not convenient? Can you stay faithful when it's not visible? Can you stay disciplined when no one's watching? That's the battlefield, not the stage, not the spotlight, but the unseen hours when you could give up and nobody would know. That's where warriors are made. Listen, there will come a day when your motivation disappears completely. When you wake up and the dream feels distant, blurry, almost foolish. When the noise of life drowns out your purpose and the world tells you it's too late. That's when discipline speaks. That's when it whispers, we've come too far to quit now. Discipline becomes your muscle memory when your hope runs out. It's the compass that keeps you walking toward your purpose, even when the map burns in your hands. Every champion you admire, every success story you quote, they all reached a point where quitting looked easier. But they didn't let comfort kill their calling. They didn't let temporary pain steal eternal purpose. They didn't let fatigue make decisions that their faith should have made. That's discipline, the decision to keep fighting when you've got nothing left but belief. Understand this discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from regret, freedom from wasted potential. Because when you master yourself, nothing outside can master you. You can walk through failure and not lose focus. You can face rejection and not lose confidence. You can be doubted by everyone and still not doubt yourself. That's power. That's peace. That's the quiet reward of discipline. The kind that can't be bought, can't be borrowed, can't be given. It must be earned. And once you earn it, you realize it was never about success. It was about becoming the kind of person who no longer fears failure. Because the disciplined man can rebuild everything he loses. You want to know what real wealth is? It's waking up with control. It's knowing that your emotions don't own you, that your habits serve you, that your purpose drives you. The disciplined live in abundance, not because they have everything, but because they waste nothing. Not a second, not a breath, not a gift. They squeeze the meaning out of every moment because they understand this life isn't a rehearsal. There are no reruns, no do-overs. You get one shot to build something eternal out of something temporary. And discipline, that's how you build it. So stop saying you'll start next week. Stop waiting for motivation to knock on your door. Start now. Start messy. Start tired. Start uncertain. Because one day of discipline is worth more than a year of wishing. And once you start, keep going. Don't stop until the person in the mirror reflects the one in your dreams. Because your dream is waiting for one thing, your consistency. It's standing on the other side of your excuses, asking, will you cross the line this time? Will you be remembered as someone who wanted it or someone who worked for it? All right, now take a deep breath, because this right here is the part where everything you've heard, everything you've believed, everything you've survived comes together. Discipline is not the enemy of your dream. It's the guardian of it. It's the silent protector that stands between what you want and what will destroy you. You think freedom means doing what you want. No, real freedom is earning the strength to do what you must. It's not in the absence of rules. It's in the mastery of yourself. When you're truly disciplined, you don't chase pleasure, you pursue purpose. And that's when the world begins to bend in your favor. See, discipline is what separates the momentary from the monumental. The people who rise and vanish from the ones whose names echo for centuries. Look at Lincoln. Every election he lost, every doubt he faced, every sleepless night he endured, he didn't quit because his discipline was stronger than his doubt. Look at Edison. His inventions didn't come from genius alone. They came from thousands of disciplined failures that refined him into innovation itself. Look at Oprah, Jobs, Ali. Every one of them was willing to do what others wouldn't. They lived by principle, not by preference. They didn't wait for the mood. They created the movement. That's what you've got to understand. Discipline is not glamorous. It's gritty. It's the unposted, unseen, uncelebrated work. It's the early morning while the world sleeps. It's the late night when your eyes burn, but your heart says on more. It's the sacrifice nobody thanks you for, but everybody benefits from. And that's the test. Will you stay true when nobody's clapping? Will you keep building when nobody's watching? Because if you can do that, if you can keep going when no one sees your effort, that's when you become dangerous. The world is full of talented people who never tasted greatness because they confused potential with progress. Talent gives you a head start. Discipline takes you across the finish line. Dreams may open the door, but discipline walks you through it. And if you're not careful, your dream can become your distraction. If you love the idea of it more than the discipline of it, there's a moment in every journey when the lights go out, when the world stops believing, when even you stop believing. That's when discipline steps forward. That's when faith and focus fuse into one voice inside you saying, keep moving. That's why most never make it. They think progress is supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to make you good. Pressure doesn't destroy diamonds. It creates them. And pain doesn't stop you. It shapes you. But only if you stay disciplined long enough to let the process work. You see, the world will always test you, not to break you, but to reveal you. Every delay, every failure, every closed door, it's a mirror asking, how bad do you want it? And your answer can't be words. It has to be work, because talk fades, posts fade, hype fades. But consistency, that echoes. And one day when you've built your masterpiece brick by disciplined brick, the same people who doubted you will say, you were lucky. But luck is just another word for patience and persistence meeting preparation. That's the law of discipline. You can't cheat it. You can't skip it. You can't fake it. You got dreams, right? Big ones, beautiful ones. But let me tell you something. You don't get what you dream for. You get what you discipline for. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you're willing to suffer for. Because dreams cost something. And the price tag says, everything easy will tempt you to stop. Everything painful will dare you to continue. And in that moment, when you feel like you've given all you can, give a little more. That extra rep, that extra hour, that extra now. When temptation calls, that's the difference between almost and always, between good and great, between your name being forgotten and your name becoming a standard. And when you finally rise, because you will rise, you'll realize that it was never about the trophies, never about the applause. It was about who you became when no one was looking. That's what discipline does. It builds character in the dark so that when the light finally hits you, you're ready to carry it. You'll stand there not proud because you made it, because you didn't quit, because you stayed when it was hard, believed when it was silent, worked when it was lonely. And that's the moment you'll understand discipline is divine. It's the art of showing gratitude through action. It's the proof that you respected the opportunity life gave you. It's how you say thank you to your Creator by not wasting what He placed in you. So wake up tomorrow like your dream depends on it, because it does. Move like your family's future depends on it, because it does. Speak like your words can shift the atmosphere, because they can. And work like discipline is the only language success understands, because it is. Stop saying, I'll do it someday, because one day, someday will be gone, and all you'll have left is what you built today. Let your routine become your rebellion against mediocrity. Let your focus become your form of prayer. Let your discipline become your destiny, because the truth is simple, but it's eternal. You got dreams, but do you have discipline? If you do, the world doesn't stand a chance.